Hopefully every boxing podcast slates this WBC shit show in the next few days. So, Matty, let's go to you first. Oscar Valdez headlining against Robson Conceicao for the WBC title. Junto Nakatani is on the undercard, praise be, apparently. Jose Ramirez making his debut. And Gabe Flores, not Gabe Lewis, is fighting against Luis Alberto Lopez Vargas, who needs about 4 names there. Most importantly, though, Valdez is on probation. The WBC have said, you've tested positive for something banned, but that's okay. It's not that bad. You might as well just fight anyway, Matty. Why not?
Both samples tested positive too, so it's not like this is, maybe somebody made a mistake. No, he's fucked. And what happened is the tribal organization said that they would let it go ahead, and so the WBC said, fuck it, we'll let it go ahead too. So now you have Valdez juiced up to the gills, who is with Eddie Reynoso, so that is an interesting kind of little tidbit there. But you'd have to assume he's going to win this fight. I think he, even without being juiced, he would have been fine. But this is just a fucking travesty. And, we talk about a lot of the unforced errors that are harming boxing, like COVID and things like that. Well, this is a completely avoidable black eye, basically saying, you can cheat if you are connected to X. And it's pretty disgusting, and that's about all I have to say.
Yeah. Steve's going to be right back, so I'm just going to chime in with my comments here, Matty, right? All I'm going to say is this: it is a fucking disgrace that this fight goes ahead, right? And I seen Tommy on Twitter there last night saying that if Valdez is British, he would have got all the support in the world. Every single support in the world, because it's just like what happened with Dillian White. Look, all I'm going to say is Robson Conceicao, regardless how this fight ends up, better will walk out of this ring under his own steam and his own volition. Because if he's getting carried out the ring on a stretcher, if he ends up in the hospital or seriously injured off the back of this, there is going to be fucking outrage to fucking pay. Right? And you've already got people out there saying that the sport should be banned enough as it is. We've had a young lassie die, I think it was 2-3 days ago. Yeah, a young female, I think it might have been in Mexico, I want to say. I might have got that wrong, I forget her name and stuff like that, so sorry about that. But she died recently, right? We've got fighters taking diuretics, which this is what apparently that Valdez is tested positive for. He has looked decent coming up at featherweight, and then he seemed to kind of hit a ceiling, and all of a sudden now he's looking fantastic. He's looking in great shape. Look, Tim Bradley didn't sit on the fucking fence, man. He got up and said it as well. He broke his heart, apparently, calling him a fucking cheater. There's questions to be answered here, and if I can have your B sample come back positive, and that's what the fight should be off, no questions. And I think they're using the terminology of, let me try and get this right. I think they're talking about this drug is phentermine, I think it's called. It's apparently aids weight loss and stuff and decreases your appetite, etc. and that, right? But it
need to get on that myself, I think, Anna.
Yeah, well, but it could also be used as a masker for other drugs. Now, that's what used for diuretics and that, right? It's apparently out your system pretty quick, right? But he's obviously been tested within the fucking window of it being out your system, and they've caught it. I think the wording that they're using is this drug has been is banned out with competition. I need to go back and check it up and read it again and that, but there was some sort of anomaly as to how they got this fight on, and the tribal people have come in and they're going to sanction it. As I say, Steve, if anything happens to Conceicao, there's going to be a fucking shitstorm of epic proportions, and I'm going to be at the fucking back of it, kicking it up as well, because I'm fucking sick of it. That these guys think they can, I keep saying that there's too many divisions in the sport these days for these cunts to start fucking taking this shit and to drop with the weight, to fucking basically weight cheating, basically. That's what it is. They're fucking cheating the weight. They can't make it naturally, so they're going to take these this shit. And he comes out with a statement and that, oh well, I was an Olympian, never did it and all that type of stuff. Look, listen, mate, we know what goes on in the background. We might fully know, but we know how it goes. You take a wee drug here, take a wee kind of shot of it, it'll be your system within 2 days. And I hate to kind of mention Conte, for example, and that, right? But he had the great saying, it's no fucking drug testing, it's IQ testing. If you can be intelligently ahead of the drug testers and that, you're going to beat the fucking test. But what chances you got if you've got a fucking fighter failing his A sample and his B sample, and you get some fucking idiot at another commission saying, don't worry, pal, we'll license you. Conceicao better be kicking up a fuck about this, or his team better be demanding more money, and better yet, I'd love to see him fucking pull it, but he probably can't afford to pull it. It's probably a career high payday for him. So he's probably fucked as well. He's damned if he does it, damned if he doesn't. But can you imagine it? He's fighting a drugs cheat, or a guy who's failed a drugs test. He's got a potential career high payday, a world title on the fucking line, and he could potentially get fucking beat, knocked out, and badly injured off a guy who's apparently failed a drugs test. That's what I'm going to say. Hopefully, as I say, he walks out the ring healthy, nothing seriously happens to him, and he's the champion. I want to see Valdez get beat. I'm on Tim Bradley's way of thinking in that. After that performance against Burchell, what I was really impressed by the way. I thought it was a really good performance against a tough opponent, and he looked amazing. He looked fantastic. And you're thinking, well, is it another reason? And it's just another black eye for the sport. And the very fact that this fight goes ahead based off that fucking B sample is an absolute fucking outrage. Disgraceful. And I'm going to say, again, Conceicao better come out of that fight healthy. That's all I'm going to say.
And he's right, Jay Knotts as well. If Valdez injures his opponent, lawsuits will start flying. That's the thing, Rob, regarding this fight, regarding the previous fight with Oscar Valdez and Dillian White, and I'm sure many fights in between and beforehand as well. It's all about priorities. Whenever anyone fails, the main thing is how can we protect them, still get the fight on, whether it's money, whether it's currying favour with certain people. It's all about trying to get around the rules as much as they can, rather than saying, you've done this, these are the rules, this is what happens. That they still want the fight to go ahead. They're trying to circumvent everything, Rob, as much as they possibly can to make the fights go ahead.
Yeah. A big advocate for circumvention there. It's, I don't know. It's boxing, dude. Like, it's fucking, we're tired of this. Unfortunately, someone's going to be the sacrificial lamb, and we're hoping it's not going to be Conceicao after this. But someone is going to fucking pop. Smitho said it before, and like, to be honest with you, probably has happened, and it's just been swept in under the rug. We've seen instances where you have to be a top quality investigative journalist to find out about people's therapeutic use exemptions and stuff like that. It's tough. It's tough to report on this for some guys. It's if you're the house fighter, you're in favour, and VADA, of course, have no permission to enforce any suspensions or anything like this. So VADA should have. If VADA had any power in unison with the commission, they'd be able to enact a suspension here, and this fight wouldn't go ahead. But of course, money talks, money been spent on camps, money talks for money been spent on drug testing and stuff. They've found a loophole here. They've obviously they know that this thing is a masking agent, number one, so that's clever. They know that it can be linked to certain legal products, so there's a bit of a ambiguity there and a bit of a legal loophole, and they can just get away with shit. Like 2 samples tested positive. I think this is the 4th fighter out of Reynoso's camp. That's popped in the last 2 to 3 years. So there's fucking heavy suspicions here. But of course, Reynoso's are the men behind the biggest cash cow in boxing. So you got to be careful who you go after and who you target and stuff. And it's just boxing. The boxers themselves need to shut the fuck up sometimes and just shut up and get off Twitter, man, because they're all anti-doping until it's one of their mates or somebody needs a fight. And you know, I think Tommy was onto something there about if Valdez was British, because the commission pulled Andrade versus Billy Joe Saunders because of the whole nasal spray incident. Everybody just swallowed that one, didn't they? Oh, Billy Joe, he was on the Vicks, man. He didn't mean to fucking do it. You know, good old Billy Joe. He's going over there to do it for the troops. Get a tattoo of him on your back. Do you know, it's like they could do no wrong when it's one of their mates. So fucking, you know, it's just... It's the sport's rotten. Everybody's at the top level is juicing. Some of them are getting away with it. They have doctors, but the old Lance Armstrong quote: "They had doctors, we have better ones," and that seems to be what's happening. Like, so, unfortunately, there is going to be the sacrificial lamb that's going to enforce change, but it's going to be too fucking late. Like,
you going to throw anything in there, Andy, or should we move on?
Just about that WBC statement, mate. I mean,
yeah.
What a fucking joke. Yeah. I'm actually embarrassment, mate. Just a couple of points. The WBC will officially sanction the Valdez Conceicao bout for the WBC belt Okay, whatever. The WBC will donate the totality of the sanctioning fees it will receive from that bout into the WBC CBP program and into the WBC Jose Suleiman Boxers Fund, right?
He's probably run by a friend of the Suleimans.
WBC will design and implement several mandatory programs at Champion Valdez's sole cost, including taking a substantial number of random and anti-doping tests in the next 6 months. What's the fucking point? He's not going to be fighting in the next 6 months. That shit that he's took us out of his system by now, so he's going to fucking, he gets tested again, so he fucking test negative.
That's like picking up a serial killer and go, listen, if we catch anybody else's DNA on you in the next 6 months, buddy, you are in trouble.
Exactly. It's just a fucking. They say here the WBC will place Champion Valdez on probation status for a period of 12 fucking months. Valdez all he's got to say is, "Oh, I've got an injury. I'm out for a year." What is the fucking point of your fucking testing program, right? This goes back to as well as what power does the WBC actually fucking have in situations like this? Fuck all, because you've got another sanctioning body. Commissioner. Sorry, I forget what the fight was initially meant to be. Was it going to the fight actually going to Matty? Arizona, I think it's going to.
Yeah, it's Arizona and it's on tribal land, so it's weird how the commission
it was Vegas initially.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, come on, and Bob Arum as well, man. Come on, to fuck. I know it's your card, and I'm looking forward to the Nakatani Acosta fight, but I don't want to hear anybody. People say, "Well, you know, it's diuretic," Andy. I don't give a fuck. You either let the guys fucking take the drugs, or you don't, right? But you're fucking basically giving this guy a chance to fucking. Do you go back to the fact that he's a Mexican? Is he getting preferential treatment because he's a Mexican? Because he campaigned for Mexico in the Olympics, even though he couldn't on the American team? It's just a fucking outrage, man.
To be fair, it's been a long time coming for the Mexicans to give favoritism in anything, so I guess fair play to him.
But the thing is, right, and then you take it with the Canelo comes. You had Canelo himself, who was the flyweight kid it tested positive. What's his fucking name? I think you'll pull up the rankings. You had the flyweight guy.
Fuentes?
No, Cesar Martinez.
It was Chito Martinez, I think his name was. Andy.
Chito Martinez. Ray Vargas was another one who and that was for the clenbuterol, by the way, because they ended up fucking dropping the dosage or upping the dosage that were allowed to have in Mexican fighters because the meat was contaminated with this shit. It's just a fucking outrage, man. And I said, can you honestly just? Obviously, we hope it doesn't happen. Can you imagine if Conceicao gets badly injured next week? Can you imagine the shitstorm is going to fucking end up? Twitter's going to be off the fucking hook next week. It will just be, there'll be fucking lawsuits. Bob Arum will come out with his fucking teary-eyed story like Eddie Hearn came out with. It's just fucking terrible, man. Outrageous. I just can't get my head around about it. You're either serious about the drug testing situation or you're fucking not. You're just paying lip service. You're taking the money off fucking fighters, putting it into boxers' funds, so it's clearly that you're a fucking profit organisation because you're taking that money, putting it into a fund for helping an old fighter down the line who needs medical treatment. But you're putting that into a fund that's probably making money, making interest off it, and all that type of stuff. So you are a profit organisation. You're an outrageous organisation. You should have fucking taken your belt off the fucking. You should have struck them for the fucking title, actually, to be honest with you, or just refuse to sanction the fucking fight. But again, it falls back to money is the fucking driver of all this shit. So as I say, I'm harking back and I don't repeat myself, but Nakatani better, 100% better walk out that ring on his own, under his own steam, because if he doesn't, Bob Arum, the WBC, the fucking commission that's sanctioning this shit is in for a serious amount of fucking bullshit. Like, it's outrageous. I just can't believe it.
Although, just to balance things out quickly, Andy, Valdez, to be fair, did undergo additional testing, as you say, at his own cost. So fair play to him.
Yeah, well, aye, okay, fair play.
$50, send it in, Amazon.
Ah, exactly. Listen, mate, I phoned the NHS last week to get a couple of COVID packs sent through to me. I got it fucking free of charge, though. You know?
Some boys, aren't they, man?
It's going to be some crack. Going to be some crack when the first fighter to pop claims that there's spike proteins in the fucking COVID vaccine, and he's going to have to. There's spiking the fucking nandrolone in his system naturally. I don't know, man. It's a fucking jab.
I don't know if he's watched, but obviously I was on Porky's show a few weeks back and I says to Porky, can you I would love to hear the fucking
nothing going on that channel lately, I don't think, is there?
No, it's been quite quiet.
Are you sweating a bit, Andy?
I'll chap at the door. So I forget the woman's name. Remember that woman who fucking failed the drugs test for swallowing her man's man meat and drinking his cum, for example? I'm waiting for the fucking first man to come out and say, "Oh, well, I swallowed my boyfriend's man milk and I failed the drugs test." I'm like, could you imagine the fucking first fighter to pull off of that one? Come on. Think about it. Lewis Neri, thanks for joining Horsecock Nelson. Lewis Neri was another one.
So much I was fighting back names coming out of my mouth there. I was just fighting back in. But I was saying Broner could use that excuse if and say the lady in the fucking limos doped to the eyeballs.
Aye.
And Quaaludes.
Quaaludes, baby, aye. She was just lying there to you.
Give her another Quaalude, she'll love me again tomorrow, man.
Bill Cosby approved.
Good luck to everybody involved next week. We shall report on it as we see fit. Oscar Valdez against Robson Conceicao. So, okay then, unless there's any other business, we shall move on swiftly to the Bellew.
Briefly, aye. Nakatani Acosta.
Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. Well,
Nakatani Acosta is probably going to be fighting the night on that card, actually. Nakatani, I'm expecting him to knock out Acosta late in that fight. Just to let you know, that's my prediction. Jose Ramirez on that card as well. I think he's I can't remember if he was an Olympian kid or whatever, making his debut at least. And Gabriel Flores, Steve, remember the kid who watched his mum got killed in was it a drive-by shooting?
Yeah, he's had a rough life, he has, you know.
Yeah, I think he's only like 21 or whatever. Like 20
yeah.
Going up. So I will keep my wee eye on him as well.